Right now, somewhere in your house, it's dark. You're in bed. And if you woke up at 3 in the morning last night for no reason, just wide awake staring at the ceiling, you probably assumed something was wrong with you. It wasn't. For most of human history, that wasn't insomnia. That was Tuesday. We've been told the same story about sleep our whole lives. Lie down, close your eyes, stay unconscious for 8 hours, repeat. But that story is maybe 200 years old. Before electric light, before alarm clocks, before the 9 to 5, humans did something completely different at night. And once you see what that actually was, you'll never look at 3 a.m. the same way again. Here's the part almost nobody tells you. Before fire, there was no night as we understand it. The sun went down and life just stopped. No conversation, no culture, no stories. Just darkness and danger and sleep, because anything else could get you killed. Fire changed that. Archaeologists studying early hearths describe it almost like fire handed humans bonus hours that didn't exist before, extra waking time bolted onto the day. Every single thing you associate with nighttime, talking, music, ritual, connection, none of it existed until a flame made the dark safe enough to sit in. We didn't just discover fire, we used it to invent the evening. And once that evening existed, something strange happened to sleep itself. A historian named Roger Eckerge spent years combing through over 2,000 old diaries, court records, and letters and found the same pattern over and over. People didn't sleep in one block, they slept in two. First sleep, then an hour or more wide awake in the middle of the night, then second sleep. That waking window wasn't wasted time. People used it to pray, to talk quietly with a partner, to think. Physicians of the era actually prescribed medicine to be taken during that gap because the body was believed to be unusually receptive right then. It had a name. It was expected. It was, by multiple historical accounts, one of the calmest parts of a person's entire day. So if you're waking up at 3 a.m. tonight, that's not your body malfunctioning. That might be the oldest sleep pattern our species has. Here's where it gets even stranger. Researchers wired up 33 Hadza hunter-gatherers in Tanzania, one of the last groups on Earth still living a hunter and gathering lifestyle, and tracked them for 13 nights straight. Across 13,000 minutes of sleep data, there were only 18 minutes where every single person was asleep at the same time. Nobody assigned a night watch. Nobody set a rotation. It just happened because the group had night owls, early risers, and light-sleeping elders all mixed together. Evolution had already built the watchman system into the group, using nothing but the natural differences between people. You were never as alone at night as you think you were. But that fire everyone gathered around wasn't just for warmth. It changed what people talked about. An anthropologist named Polly Wiesner recorded hundreds of conversations among the Juhan Bushmen in the Kalahari. During the day, roughly 3/4 of what people talked about was practical: hunting, complaints, gossip, logistics. But at night, around the fire, that flipped. Over 80% of nighttime conversation turned into storytelling, myths, spirit worlds, tales about people far away. Daylight was for surviving. Firelight was for becoming human. Language, empathy, imagination, a lot of that was built after dark, not during the day. And they weren't just talking under the stars, they were mapping them. Cave paintings across France, Spain, Germany, and Turkey, sites separated by thousands of miles and tens of thousands of years, encode the same astronomical system, tracking the slow drift of Earth's rotational axis. That's a phenomenon we credited to the ancient Greeks over 100 years before Christ. Turns out, people were already tracking it by firelight, with nothing but memory and pigment, long before anyone thought to write it down. Now, stack all of this together, the wakeful nights, the firelight, the mapped stars, and add one more piece: dreaming. Anthropologist Edward Tyler argued that most early supernatural belief came directly from dreams. Imagine having zero framework for what a dream even is, and then every night, without fail, you go somewhere. You meet people who died. You fly. You become someone else. You wouldn't call that a dream. You'd call it a doorway. The spirit world probably wasn't invented out of nowhere. It was the most reasonable explanation for something that happened to every person every single night. And it wasn't just the mind they were taking care of at night. It was the body, too. The oldest known bed we've ever found in South Africa's Border Cave is about 200,000 years old. Just compacted grass and plant matter. But when researchers checked what plants were used, they found insect-repelling properties showing up again and again across different layers, spanning thousands of years. That's not an accident. That's a species running the same experiment, generation after generation, and keeping the version that worked. So here's the thing that should actually unsettle you a little. None of this is really gone. We still crave that firelit state, that relaxed, flickering, half-focused feeling, where the brain opens up and gets social and imaginative. We just replaced the fire. Now it's a phone, a screen in a dark room doing the exact same job a flame did 50,000 years ago. Except it doesn't end when you run out of firewood. The urge to stay up, to talk, to scroll, to stare into a glow after everyone else has gone quiet. That's not a modern habit. That's an ancient one. Wearing a new mask. So next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't reach for your phone. Just lie there for a minute. You might be the last person on Earth still doing it the way it was meant to be done. Subscribe if you want more of this. The parts of history nobody puts in textbooks.